Hello everyone. This is Dr.G.Anita Hebsiba, Department of Chemistry, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. We know about natural dyes. Natural dyes are dyes or colorants derived from plants, invertebrates, or minerals. The majority of natural dyes are vegetable dyes from plant sources. For example, they can be derived from root, berries, bark, leaves, and wood, and other biological sources such as fungi can also be used. In this video, we are going to discuss about some of the myths regarding natural dyes. The first myth is natural dyes are not color fast. Actually, the underlying fact is that effective natural dyeing is a skilled craft requiring extensive knowledge of fiber types, proper fiber preparation, selection of actual dye sources, and many other knowledge areas. For example, historically in European dye guilds, apprentices would study for 7+ years before being permitted to take charge of any aspect of the dye process. Nowadays, no one would claim that they tried to make a concert violin from popsicle sticks and it fell apart the first time they tried to play it. So they know that carving violins from wood doesn't work. And this is the assumption that some people make about natural dyeing too, because they haven't invested any time in learning evidence based techniques and they assume that all claims made in different study resources as natural dye books are accurate. Second myth is natural dyes doesn't give vibrant colors and everyone in the past wore drab. This is related to the first myth above, but it demonstrates a lack of knowledge of the facts and history of natural dyeing. The reality is that humanity's skill with coaxing stunning colors from plants, insects, lichen, and pigments and fungi goes back many tens of thousands of years. But if someone now attempts natural dyeing without learning proper technique or which sources in nature give reliable dyes, they are likely to give unimpressive results. Even though we can produce impressive results without lack of knowledge, we can give only unimpressive results. But it's not natural dyes that are to blame for that. The third myth is salt and vinegar can easily fix natural dyes. Is that true? There are two primary ways that natural dyes form strong attachment to fibers. First one is direct dyes can form strong molecular bonds to fibers on their own without the requirement of a mordant. For example, is walnut dye. It's a kind of direct dye. Mordant or adjective dyes can form strong bonds with mordanted fibers. Example, madder dye from the madder roots. Madders are metal salts. Mordants are metal salts. A metal salt is created when an acid reacts bonds with a metal, releasing hydrogen in the process. Common metal salt mordants are aluminium sulfate, ferrous sulfate, ferrous acetate, etc. Metal salts form very stable bonds between natural fibers and natural dyes, and in that sense they form a coordination complex that render the natural dye no longer water soluble, creating stable color results in our fiber. Table salt, that is sodium chloride, while technically a type of metal salt, lacks the electrochemical properties necessary to form the molecular bond between itself, fiber and dye. Therefore it cannot be used as a mordant. Seawater has been used historically in natural dyeing for various things such as to clean wool or to slow the absorption of dye by fibers, resulting in more even dye results, but it cannot bond dyes to fibers. Vinegar is likewise not a metal salt, therefore it is not a mordant too. It is only one half of what's required to form a mordant and lacks the metal component. But as vinegar is not a metal salt on its own, it's not a mordant. It cannot bond dyes to fibers. So salt and vinegar fix natural dyes. It's a kind of mordant. The next one is 15% plus alum needed to modern protein fibers and add 50% more to reuse. Natural dye suppliers are in the business of selling a product. Let me repeat that. Natural dye suppliers are in the business of selling a product. Most do not have anyone on staff with a science background and do not follow any scientific literature on natural dyeing. Instead, their recommendations are usually based on habit and on practice that encourage higher sales. Higher modern amounts can be useful in some natural dye methods, but for the majority of everyday dyeing, rich color can be achieved with far lower modern weight of fiber than most sellers recommend, and the modern bath can be reused many times without tapping up. So in that sense, there is no need for more amount of alum for to be used as mordant. And the next with this, I want to avoid chemicals and I like people in the past who used more natural methods. There is a notion that our ancestors lived on all natural uh, products without any hazardous chemicals. There are several myths to unpack here. Everything in the universe is made up of chemicals. Some are hazardous and some of them are non-hazardous. For example, when you take a hazardous uh, coumarins, that is furanocoumarins, they are all hazardous. But when you take oxygen, it's a chemical, but it is not hazardous. It is very much essential for the existence of life on Earth. Not all hazardous chemicals are synthetic, manufactured. Many are naturally occurring in soil, plants, bacteria, etc. Conversely, not all synthetic chemicals are harmful. Toxicity is primarily a product of the biological structure, not of whether that a biological structure was created in nature as created in a laboratory. Historically, people lacked the knowledge that science provides to us today and often inadvertently used extremely toxic materials, many of them entirely naturally occurring. Reading through an old dye manual shows that very hazardous materials such as lead, chrome, mercury, and arsenic were commonly used in natural dyeing. So it is contemporary that natural dyers, backed up by the extensive body of scientific evidence of which substances are hazardous to human and or ecological health and which are not, who can produce a more non-toxic approach to natural dyeing. Thank you.